Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with the System Rift DLC for Deus Ex Mankind Divided Blind, which is already about 10,000 times more interesting than the entirety of the Desperate Measures DLC. So, before I go into the bar to meet whoever Pritchard was referring me to, I still have the restaurant and this whole apartment complex to explore. So let's start with that. Okay, security rating 1, which is just enough for me to hack it. I just hope I don't raise the alarm, because that's going to be a little problematic, what with all the trigger-happy policemen around.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiate. Access granted.
Okay. Now, curiously enough, the building itself isn't restricted, so it's almost like the police don't really care about me breaking in. There's an ebook on the table here by Talos Rucker, The Inconvenient Og, Chapter 5. So I guess maybe this is his, like, the most famous book. I'm not sure if I read the other chapters of this in the main game or something. During the incident, I became convinced that the people around me were ghosts, the angry spirits of the dead returning to this plane to drag me into the afterlife with them. I remember hiding myself, helplessly cowering and whimpering. Every first account from that day describes an underlying paranoid delusion, but cognitive dissociation, dissociation is inconsistent with the prevailing model of bioelectric synaptic override that forms the basis of an overwhelming majority of theories as to the cause of the tragedy. It was not our bodies that were taken over, it was our minds. Our endocrine systems were afflicted, subsequently poisoning our perceptions and leading to the actions that were taken. There is no existing theory which acknowledges this, and therefore all speculations as to the incident's origin begin in a wrong place and can only go further afield from there. For some reason, the accounts of the augmented are universally ignored. So I guess I don't understand the minutiae of, like, the technical biological details he's talking about, but I guess the underlying point is that he's trying to push for you know, for the narrative that it was caused by, that it wasn't just some massive psychosis that you know, that something that went wrong. It isn't that the augmented went crazy per se. It is that they were affected by something, which is obviously true. They were directly affected by the signal sent by Darrow, and I guess he's also talking about how he's being this theory is being discouraged, which again makes sense, because obviously the Illuminati wouldn't want the truth to get out. So there is that. Now it seems this other part of the building, the kitchen itself, is restricted, so I think I'm going to leave for a bit and first explore the apartment complex, because the apartment complex itself I think isn't actually a restricted area, so I'll go in here. Yeah, this is a lobby of some sorts. Now, unfortunately, I am stealing stuff, because as I said last time, in those DLC, I find it a little bit hard to just manage with the stuff I got from the beginning, so I have to bend my own rules concerning stealing. Damn it, I didn't check where the actual ending is.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Okay. From Peter Banks to Klimova Apartments. Package hold 1A. Out of the town because of the damned bombing, Please hold of all of my packages. Thanks in advance. Okay, so this is presumably about something I can steal. You know, this guy's package. Window cleaning. To all tenants, we must inform you that the next week the maintenance crew will be present at our building for the annual internal and external cleaning of all apartments. Window cleaning of all apartments. We ask you to clear the access to the window ledges for them to wash the windows. If you have personal items that prevent the maintenance crew from carrying out window cleaning, you will be fined. If you want to refuse internal cleaning services, please contact building management. No internal cleaning for 3A or 3B is required. We'll do it ourselves. Marta Romanowski. Okay. Registered tenants. Petro. Okay, I don't understand any of the... I don't recognize any of those names per se. This is the guy that has his packages being held. But I find it interesting that this guy's surname is Janus. But I think it's just a coincidence. Like, I would seriously doubt it's an actual agent of the collective. We will update the head office. Okay. But the guy said that they are supposed to hold his packages. So... this looks like a package, you know, delivered from a post office, but I cannot do anything with it. Although, I just noticed, there's a Deus Ex logo on this mousepad here, which is kind of cool. Okay, the list of tenants, the same as the one before. Now, can I hack this? Security rating 2. No, so that's kind of sad. Because I totally forgot about hacking and didn't take the necessary org. So I guess I have to... hope that I'll be able to return at a later date to inspect the rest of the buildings. Okay, so get inside here. Restricted zone. Anything particularly interesting here? Apart from just produce. Cardboard box. Doesn't look like it. I guess I can... okay, so those are like shutters that would have prevented me from sneaking out through the window, which now I can do. And in fact, I might actually have to do it. Oh, no, the door is open as well. There are two potential hostiles right here.
I'm telling you, if that augmented pickpocket ever shows its face in here, I will put a bullet through it myself. Rid the world of Oz.
These flanks know better than to attack.
I would love to see that. See it plastered all over Picus News for everyone to see. What are you talking about? Sammy's dad is the only place for real news. Do not tell me you listen to that mainstream bullshit.
I do. They know what they are talking about. That Lazarus guy sounds like he is making shit up most of the time.
Picus is part of everything going on. They are trying to control you and influence public opinion.
You are starting to sound like one of those crazy conspiracy nuts.
How are we even friends? I had no idea that you completely believe Eliza Kazan's twisted lies.
It's the news. You are paranoid. The world is not one big conspiracy, you know.
Exactly. It is hundreds of them.
Yeah, right?
What was that?
Damn it.
I think I saw something.
Well, so much for freaking actual stealth. I think I'm actually screwed, but I guess this is the other side of the apartment building, which is interesting in its own right, because I couldn't hack it from... Well, I guess I am taking them down then. Oh, it's the police. Huh. What are you doing here? This area is not restricted, so... What is your beef with me? Oh! I guess they were triggered by my actual enemies, and they are looking for them instead, because obviously it was them. They fired the first shot, so I guess the police assume that they are the guilty party in this, which I guess is kind of true depending on how you look at it, because I did sneak into their territory, but then again I'm not sure what kind of jurisdiction they have there. Like, it seems unreasonable to me that there's a whole part of town that's just being patrolled by armed guards, and it seems I can't really access any of the apartments, which is weird.
They were supposed to protect us.
But that was, you know, expertly screwed, as is my, you know, as is my specialty. What can I say? It's just the way I roll, unfortunately.
Anomaly detected.
Okay, I should have plenty of time to hack this.
Initiated. Access granted.
The conversation, I didn't want to sneak further because I wanted to hear the conversation between the NPCs. It wasn't particularly interesting. They were just talking about how one of the women believes everything that Picus says, and the other one was laughing at her for being an idiot. And they were talking about how the world either isn't a conspiracy or is 100 of conspiracies, which I guess is kind of debatable in the real world, but isn't at all debatable in the Deus Ex world, because it straight up is 100 of conspiracies. It's just that most people don't know about it. Okay. A camera, interesting. So somebody has been presumably keeping tabs on this section over here. I didn't really catch the essence of that, because I think I walked in the middle of it. Maybe it's going to replay. If it does, then I'll try to come over and listen to it again if he starts talking. Aha! There's a secret terminal here. And dirty laundry. Okay, I don't think there's anything else. A throwable exercise ball. Okay, whatever.
Steve's gonna hook me up with some of our attachés out in Seattle's Fortress of Solitude. But until then, I have to reiterate some things. Okay, followers, who else thinks there are far too many questions that Nathaniel Brown and his cronies at Santo are evading about this so-called Og paradise in the Middle East? Like, how the hell are the drugs supposed to get there? Can he guarantee the safe passage of a sufficient supply of neuropocene doses for people being enslaved?
I actually listened to that back in the main game about Rabia's potential problems with supplying the neuropocene and everything else. Hacking level 1, okay, just enough for me to get through here.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
But what does this do? Unlock. Ah. Oh, I wasn't expecting something like this so early into the story. This obviously looks like something that's going to be relevant at a later point. Does this just open this from the other side? Why would it be locked then? I think I'll have to hack it anyway. Just because it's there and I'm not sure if... Oh! An actual praxis as well. Okay, that was definitely worth it coming here just for that, but I feel like obviously this space must have some use in actual story at a later date, so I'm presumably going to return here at one point or another, but before I spend that praxis point and explore this space a little more, I think I would like to still hack this, just to be sure there isn't like another secret stash somewhere, or you know, something like that.
Anomaly detected. Trace program.
I should have enough time to get through here.
Access granted.
So what does this do? Painting, unlock. Huh. So does it open something in here? Oh wait, it still... Was it just to open this? But I opened it before, so why would I need to do that from the other side? I don't think any of the other paintings have moved. And obviously I don't think there even are any paintings in here. Cameras, computers, anything up here? Not really. Okay, I'm kind of confused about that. But let me look at the photos. So, photos of the Palisade logo thing, which I'm still not sure what it is. Photos of the blade itself. I think this is actually the CEO of Palisade, Ashani Talwar, which is interesting that somebody was researching her. I wonder if it was someone else who was planning to break into the bank, and maybe I'm going to enlist their help at some point. Okay, so this is Ashani Talwar again. Some news segments, which I can't really read, I don't think. Which is why we consider the greatest thing to happen to Prague also be the worst, the creation of Palisade Bank. Okay, I read this. I read this in the main game. This is about the establishment of the Palisade Bank, so this isn't anything new, but it seems clear from everything here that it is, you know, whoever lives here was researching the bank itself. Code 3450948. Now, should I be writing that down? That is the question. Structure, workflow. I feel like not, because if it is relevant, the game would have written it down for me. It's usually the way it goes. So, let me read the ebook here. Palisade Corporation, the founders, started as a dream shared by two people. Ashani Talwar, heir to the Talwar banking empire, had an unrivaled mind for business. Masaki Oshiro, founder of the data protection company Angyo, had the brilliance to stop the best hackers in the world. When they met, they were two of the wealthiest people under 30 in the world. Individually, they had it all, and yet they had no one to share it with. In 2014, a chance meeting in Switzerland would change both of their lives forever. They fell deeply in love and quickly married each other in a private ceremony. After their wedding, they set their sights on a new endeavor that would combine their passion, high-end data archiving, and starting their family. What? This is in parentheses. I feel like a sentence of this, like a part of the sentence is missing. It should be, you know, high-end data archiving and something else. But this is in parentheses, so it looks weird, but it seems to only have one page, so I'm not sure. But obviously this whole space looks very, very important from the story perspective, so I assume I'm going to come back here at one point or the other. Now, that praxis point I found will be probably best used to upgrade hacking, because I was lamenting the fact that I couldn't, couldn't use some of the Klimova apartments. Couldn't use some of the what's the word? some of the terminals because my hacking skill was too low, and now I should just be able to, you know, to actually accomplish that, and then I can return to the restricted territory and maybe do a little bit better this time, you know, with not being spotted, because I feel like it might not be a good idea to start a fight just right away.
I don't have time for anything, sorry. Please, I'm very busy.
So... Vychód, so that means exit, but this is the main street level, but is there anything here? Nope, it just goes straight to the restricted territory again, which, as I said, I'm not going to go there yet. Anything here? Not really, because I want to check a few things I might have missed due to not having the high enough hacking skill. First of all, there is this.
I am not getting into an AUG debate with an AUG.
There is this locker here. Are there any police nearby? There are. But are they going to mind? Because I distinctly remember that at least on one occasion they did shoot me after discovering that I was hacking a terminal in their view. So maybe I'll just wait for him to go away and try now. Yeah, this is level 2, so without upgrading my hacking skill, I wouldn't be able to get through here. So it's a good thing I did that.
Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Okay. Now, is there anything worthwhile here? Some lockers. Okay, I'm going to dismantle that Paliside for additional thingamajigs, crafting parts. Anything else? Doesn't look like it. But still, it was vaguely worth it, I imagine, just for that. Because 50 weapon parts is quite a few. I'm going to keep the pistol just in case, and I don't have anything to... Holosight, non-magnifying sight that maximizes peripheral vision, faster target acquisition, reticle and distant field of view, improves weapons accuracy and helps to counteract recoil. Okay, I guess I can... I don't imagine I'm going to use the pistol that much, but... Oh, it doesn't even combine. But I'll leave it for now. Maybe it combines with the rifle somehow. Now, I would like to put this here. Yeah, and I have 180 parts already, which might be very useful in a pinch if I need a special kind of item. But I think I'm finally ready to go into this restricted area because I've explored everything else on the outskirts of town.
My wife is going to kill me.
So let me get back here and try to get into the bar without alerting anyone. He says, as he just alerted someone. Great work, me. Oh, okay, I'll back down and go back to the restaurant because I think the exit through the windows might actually give me a better position
That kind of thing.
compared to the apartment complex. Although there are quite a few guards anywhere, bar the entrance is through here. Maybe I'll just put the cloak on and just run straight through. Because I really feel like I shouldn't be picking fights at the very beginning of this section, because that might, you know, that might make the disposition towards me, you know, more reserved as I go on. Damn it, I don't think this is a good way to go. Yeah, it isn't. Okay, I'm screwed. Actually, totally screwed. That's actually a pretty hilarious scene to imagine. You know, Jensen was supposed to meet someone at that bar, and then he enters the door and gets shot to death, and you know, just collapses, dying on the ground right before the door. Like that's pretty ridiculous. But I went the wrong way last time. I could bring them all down, but as I said, I'm not sure if that's wise. Just at the beginning of the section, I'm not even sure who they are exactly. Are they a part of some criminal organization, or are they just disgruntled citizens? Although that would feel weird, because you'd think the police would object to regular people, you know, just barricading themselves in one of the districts and carrying guns openly and shooting at everyone who tries to get in. You know, that there seems to be some obvious jurisdiction problems with that. So my money is on some kind of a gang that has actually some kind of an understanding with the police, and that's why they are allowed to continue to operate in this part of town the way they do. But no matter who exactly they are, I feel like fighting them from the get-go might not be the best idea. So let me... okay, so the bar entrance should be straight ahead.
I heard the noise.
Okay, so is this place safe? I think so, because this guy... Okay. Serve naturals only. So, what I'm assuming from that is that the barman is not going to be happy about seeing me. Who are those people? I feel like I should recognize at least some of them. Isn't the one on the left Talos Rucker? But that would be weird. No, it can't be. This is an anti-AUG establishment. Oh, that's a pretty freaky bear head with antlers and weird glowing eyes. But I will talk to the barman just because I feel it's going to annoy me. I mean, annoy him.
You have some set of balls, Clank. How the fuck did you get in here?
This is how you greet all potential customers?
You are not a customer. You are just a walking kitchen appliance.
You might want to rethink that statement. I'm with Interpol, and I'm looking for someone who's a regular here.
Interpol, huh? They giving your kind badges now? I have several regulars. Maybe you can be more specific.
He goes by the name Slaw.
Yeah, I know him. If he's still here, he's downstairs. After you're done, whatever business you have with him, get the fuck out.
Okay.
Slaw is downstairs. Please just go down there and get out of sight. You have trouble with walking down some stairs, Clank?
They are obsolete. Okay. We are obsolete is even weirder then, because they are obsolete makes sense because if you want to denigrate AUGs, but we are obsolete doesn't make a lot of sense because it would have to be AUGs denigrating themselves.
Hey, I am watching that.
Due to their involvement in an ongoing securities fraud investigation.
Oh, you are in the wrong bar, AUG.
I'm looking for someone named Slaw.
This be me, but I no do business with robots.
I'm here on behalf of someone you know from Detroit.
Kurva, he sent the robot. I told him I no do job. He no listen. Here, take this and go. It worthless now. It be flagged missing and no can be reprogrammed. It open nothing now.
Wait a minute, back up. What are you talking about? What is this?
That is Palisade Passport. It be combination employee card and VPN key. It let your boss make remote connection to protected servers inside Palisade Blade.
He needed a virtual private network key for a vetting job.
Vetting? I don't know what this mean. The job be more like heist of most secure corporate archiving bank in world. He bade me to go inside server room and make connections so he can look at files using passport.
Yeah, I see. And how were you supposed to get inside the bank?
I worked there. With clean passport, I go places inside. But if I go to wrong place, all the robots and guards come kill me. I no wanted to be die like Simona Saridakis.
Who?
She be first engineer killed inside. The Blade make update to defense system and... Wait. He getted you to do job for him? Ha! If you are human, I try stop you. Blade is death trap and I care for human life. But, because you are dirty robot, I say go. Do it. Kill yourself. At the end of day, no one will care.
Okay, this guy is kind of hilarious. Because I find the combination of his like unrelenting stupid prejudice and his broken English to be like kind of funny. Obviously, you know, what he's saying is pretty horrible. How he doesn't even see Jensen as a person. But the way he says it makes it kind of funny, and I think that might have been intentional. To be honest, I don't feel like explaining myself to somebody who does not even see me as a person, but then again, I don't know his personal like life. For all I know, his whole family might have been killed by augmented people during the incident or something like that, in which case I would understand him being prejudiced and maybe even afraid and angry at augmented people. It doesn't make it right, but I could understand that. So, as much as I am tempted to threaten him, I think I'm going to try and stay civil.
Look, I get it. You hate me and my kind, but I came here to find you, not get into a debate about what it means to be human. Let's finish up amicably and part ways.
Amica, what? You have passport. I must go back to work soon. Our business be finished. Go.
Well, that didn't...
Richard, I found Slaw. He backed out of your little bank heist.
Heist? Jensen, you understand he's being dramatic, right? Nothing's being stolen. Did he give you anything?
Yeah, something called a passport. I'll drop it in the mail for you.
Don't, Jensen! Look, there's a Converse cafe being built in your area, near the shoreline. Get inside, activate their holographic system, and I'll explain everything.
Ha! I knew I'm going to use that at some point.
Go. I look at you and I want to make throw up. Fuck off, robot. We are no friends.
But... naturals only, but... Oh, okay, I am stealing that to turn it into parts. But I am also... What did I even want to say? Ah, right, because Pritchard said nothing is getting stolen, which I assume is a technicality, because what I assume we're doing is we're going to be accessing data that we shouldn't. So I guess like technically it isn't being stolen. It's corporate espionage, you know, accessing data that you are not supposed to, but you are not physically stealing anything. Crucial evidence missing, under fire for misplacing evidence. Read that in the main game, and this as well. Augmented. So this is sometime after the murder of Angela Gunn. It's a little disappointing that there aren't any new newspaper articles compared to the main game. This door is locked. Going to steal that. As I said, it might be a little bit distasteful to change my attitudes towards stealing so radically in the DLC, but just because it's so limited compared to the main game in what objectives you get and how many of them you get, I really feel like it would have been difficult to get through without it, and I suck at this game, even if I have a lot of resources. Take my car, today is your birthday, I still hope Linda roses for mom. What? What is that? I dearly hope between act, her name is, the key is in the box, I am alone, too much love, Vivian, time is for you, brown sun. What? What is that? What is that? I don't...
Sources close to the bank tell me that no hacker has ever come close to breaching the Blade's defenses, despite an almost astronomical number of attempts. Between you and me, folks, I think they are just wasting their time.
I tell you what I know.
This is
Please,
Eliza
leave me
Kassan,
alone.
reporting to you live from Picus. Ariel is...
Okay, so this was about how the Palisade Bank is impregnable, which I find to be an incredibly cheeky thing to say in a DLC centered on the idea of breaking in. But then again, that's probably exactly the point. There's a vent, presumably going outside. Yeah, it goes under one of those. Now, I think I'm going to activate the cloak just to avoid actually having to fight those people, because I'm not feeling like it. Okay, and now I should be free to go to the cafe, because I've explored everything else on the outside, so for now there isn't anything more for me to do. Oh, was this guy here before? The exosuit policeman? I didn't see him before. Opening soon. Okay. Yeah, activate the holographic system. So, I was right, I am going to use it. Which is neat, because it'll let me actually see him and like converse with him as if he was there.
That was fast. What'd you do? Chuck a grenade and never look back?
Let's cut the small talk, Pritchard. What exactly have you gotten yourself into?
It's not as bad as you think. My client, that freelance job that I told you about.
Go on.
You've heard of the Santo Group, haven't you? The European mega corporation that built...
The Utilec complex, Prague's Og Ghetto. Yeah, I've heard of them.
Then you probably know they're building another complex for Ogs in Oman. Only this one's a city, and it's being hailed as a desert paradise.
I'm up on current events, Francis.
Well, my client is considering a partnership with Santo, but before going all in, he wants to know two things. Is Rabia feasible? And is the mysterious group that you're trying to stop also involved with the plan?
With the Illuminati?
Thought that might grab your attention. To know for sure, though, I need to get a look at some digital files stored inside the Palisade Blade. On servers leased to Santo. Slaw and his passport were going to help me do it, until he chickened out. So you see, Jensen, I really don't intend to steal anything. At least not on my own.
Yeah, corporate espionage. Right.
You're right. This isn't a bank heist. It's corporate espionage. The kind of thing your client used to pay us to prevent.
I never said David Sarah.
You didn't have to.
Fine. I'm sure Sarif would be willing to pay you too, if that's what you want. But I would have thought you'd do it on principle. You are the one who's obsessed with elites and their secrets.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just that the Palisade Blade is so full of them. Its owners are willing to kill to keep people out. I'm sure Slaw mentioned the defenses.
He might have said something.
The grounds and offices are patrolled by Tarvo security services. And wherever the human guards don't go, there are automated defenses. The best automated defenses money can buy. anyone detected in an unauthorized zone risks getting killed on the spot, as several employees have discovered.
How many deaths have there been?
The bank owners pay off the families and keep the details out of the papers, so it's difficult to say. The only one they've publicly acknowledged was the first, an engineer named Simona Saradakis. They used her death to promote their security systems, if you could believe that.
And I bet it paid off for them.
It increased their client base by at least 20%. Look, Jensen, it's safe to say this will involve more than just parkouring through a few lasers. The passport Slaw stole for us.
There is no us here, Pritchard. Slaw says the passport's been flagged. It can't be used because it can't be reprogrammed.
Slaw's knowledge of the hacking world is limited. There's maybe 50 people out there who can reprogram it. I'm one of them, of course.
Of course.
But
of course.
Is much closer to you. A friend and fellow hacker who goes by the handle ShadowChild. She knows me as Nuclear Snake.
Why do I feel like I'm in the middle of a bad screenplay you've written?
That's because you are.
Okay, look. I can tell you're still on the fence about this. Just bring ShadowChild the passport, and if you really don't want to go any further, I'll find somebody else. Please?
That's because you are. Pritchard has literally written a screenplay called Nuclear Snake. And also, ShadowChild was actually mentioned in the previous DLC. There was an email exchange from the Tarvos security guards about this legendary hacker, ShadowChild. So at least it's cool that it's trying to refer to, like, the previous DLC was at least hinting on some things that are going to be relevant later, as lackluster as the whole DLC was.
Hey, Nuclear Snake. Who exactly is this ShadowChild?
I don't know exactly. She's a legendary hacker who's been at it for as long as I have. Maybe longer. We've known each other for years through online chats.
Right. Do you trust her?
Do I trust anyone? She's helped me out with a few technical glitches in the past. Her code is solid, and very few hackers in the world know as much as she does about the Blade's inner workings.
Alright, fine. Give me her address.
Apartment 3A at 33 Klimova. It's just minutes away from your current location. You won't regret it.
Ah.
I already do.
I'll let her know you're coming. But seriously, think about this opportunity, Jensen. Getting in the Blade could result in a motherlode of information on the people you are really after.
We'll see.
So I'm pretty sure her apartment must be the one that I discovered earlier with the hidden room, which makes it a little bit weird because I've stolen from her.
Outside of any country's jurisdiction, it's probably filled with countless secrets. It's like international waters for data.
Oh, I thought someone could just get an order from a court if they wanted to investigate the servers.
Doesn't matter. No country's laws apply. No one is going to see what's in those blades.
Great. Are we done with this sightseeing shit? I want to see parts of the city that aren't for the tourists.
Just a few more minutes, okay? Then we can go. I'm probably never coming back here.
Huh, interesting. So I guess they're talking. They are telling me that Palisade is extraterritorial. Like it's literally like a sovereign territory, which I guess makes sense with the whole concept of there's literally a law in the world of Deus Ex that's called corporate sovereignty law, which allows, amongst other things, corporations to actually sit in on the United Nations Council as if they were actual countries. So I guess that fits with that. But it's kind of weird how I'm going to meet this ShadowChild hacker, and I've literally been in her apartment before. Not only that, I've actually actively stolen from her because I raided her secret stash.
I thought you told your friend I was coming.
I did.
Well, I'm in her apartment, but nobody seems to be home.
That doesn't make any sense. I can see she's online right now. She has to be there somewhere. Keep looking.
Yeah, she's in her secret room, which, as I said, I've previously stolen from, and it's still unlocked.
I wouldn't move right now if I were you. Mr. Jensen.
ShadowChild.
Lucky for you, Nuclear Snake told me you were coming. Though clearly you're much more skilled than he led me to believe.
Clearly he left out a few details about you too.
So... you need my help reprogramming something. Something that is supposed to be both time-sensitive and very exciting. Are you joking me?
I take it you know what this does.
You're making a run for the blade? Nuclear Snake must be working for someone with really deep pockets.
It's been flagged as missing. Can you reprogram the security codes?
Can I reprogram it? There are only 10 hackers in the world who can. And I'm 2 of them.
2 of them. It's pretty cool, actually.
This is going to take a few minutes. You can wait outside. Here you go. 1 healthy passport. You do realize this little thing is impossible to get a hold of outside of the Blades. I would love to know how you did it.
To be honest, I don't feel I'm at liberty to betray Pritchard's exact methods to her. If she wants to know, she should ask him.
It didn't take long to reprogram it. You sure it'll work?
I've been coding since I was 6, Mr. Jensen. I know what I'm doing. But, just to be sure, I tested it against the latest version of the Blade's keycard security program. It'll get you inside all right. Deeper inside than just the front lobby, so long as no one working there spots you.
Okay, that's going to be...
said I was going in.
Then why ask me to reprogram it? Look, I am not a casual hacker. It's my passion and my business. Hacking into the Blades, well, that's a challenge no Ripper's been able to beat. Something tells me you and Nuclear Snake might finally do it. So why not let me help?
You seem pretty eager. And judging by those camera feeds I saw on your monitors, a bit fixated on the Blades. Why?
Because information is power, Mr. Jensen. Governments, megacorporations, and the ultra-rich know this better than anyone. Before the Blades were built, people could force them to be transparent. Get a court order, file injunctions, and when all else failed, hire Rippers like me to hack a server and release their secrets anonymously on the internet.
Ripper? That's what we're calling hackers these days?
A very skilled, very specialized kind of hacker. Regardless, fear of getting found out kept many a would-be powermonger in check. Not anymore. Now, any company, politician, trillionaire or zillionaire with a vault in the Blade sleeps comfortably, knowing Masaki Oshiro is protecting them.
She seems to hold maybe a bit of a grudge against Oshiro personally.
Masaki Oshiro. This isn't the first time I've heard that name tonight.
Of course it isn't. He's the Palisade Bank's CTO. He and his wife, Ashani Talwar, own the corporation. She runs it, and he designs and oversees all of its defenses, the bastard.
Apparently you don't like him very much.
Right?
I hate him.
Because he's good at what he does?
Because he's an arrogant little shit who's made himself look like a hero to the corporate world, while secretly hiring assassins to take out Reapers like me. A lot of people have died because of that man.
To be honest, I feel like being indignant about assassins being hired to take you out when what you're doing is majorly illegal and dangerous to the livelihood of those people. Like, obviously, hiring assassins to kill someone is majorly illegal as well. But I feel like she doesn't really have that high of a higher moral ground as she thinks she does.
Tell me more about these specialized hackers of yours. What makes them different?
You've heard of the neural subnet, NSN machines?
I've had some experience with them.
Rippers use a black market version to enter a 3D representation of a server's subnet cloud. We look for digital data there, download it, and leave before the server's defenses stop you.
Kind of like a smash and grab robbery.
No, Mr. Jensen. That's what thugs do. This is data extraction. Real Rippers do it to expose the truth and keep the powers that be from exploiting the masses.
While making a little money on the side.
One must earn a living. It doesn't mean my heart isn't in the right place.
So you're a hacker with a cause. Got it.
I'm more than that. I saw the malware you hid on that passport.
What malware? I didn't hide anything.
Then whoever stole it for Nuclear Snake put it on the device for him. Either way, it's a fine piece of code. But it will only work if you actually get inside the server chamber and plug into it. I've studied the Blade. I know a lot about its defenses. I can help.
I want to know more about this malware you found. What's it do?
Creates a temporary backdoor through the Blade's lava wall. Far as I can tell, it will embed itself on a server as soon as you plug the passport in. Rippers have been trying to punch their way through that lava wall for years. But all this time, we've been looking for weaknesses from outside the system. Nuclear Snake's trying a different approach.
You're sure he wrote it?
Like I said, it's a fine piece of code. I recognize his signature. But ask him yourself if you want to be sure.
I don't doubt you can help, but just what did you have in mind?
For starters, I know someone who works in the Blade's lobby. Palisade doesn't know it, but they have a Ripper named Baba Yaga 50 working the night shift.
And you think he'd be willing to risk his job and jail time for something like this?
Our cause is bigger than that, Mr. Jensen. You're trying to screw over the company that all Rippers hate. Getting you in there is a chance you'll take, but after that, you'd be on your own. Palisade has a strict no-ogs policy.
I'll keep that in mind, should I decide to go any further with this. Right now, it's best you assume that I won't.
My lips are sealed. I know how dangerous this is, and I don't want to end up another one of Oshiro's tragic accidents.
Meaning?
Just do a little digging. You'll find out. Simona Saridakis, all the Rippers who died. The Palisade Bank will stop at nothing to protect its secrets. And until someone gets inside and uncovers the truth, they'll continue to get away with it.
I need to get going. Our mutual friend will be checking in any minute now.
Say hi to Nukes for me. And, in case you do go in, maybe you could put this on Leona Rosolova's desk. She's the head of engineering inside the Blade. Her office is on the 3rd floor.
What is it? Yeah.
A figurine. Why?
It's personal. She's someone I used to know, but don't anymore. That figurine means something to both of us. Giving it back means something else. Can you do it?
I hope it's not a bomb. I'll take it.
I'll take it, but I can't make any promises, since technically I'm not going in.
Uh-huh. And now you should be on your way. I reprogrammed the passport in half the time it would have taken our mutual friend to do it, but even so, he's not a patient guy. Be careful in there, Mr. Jensen. Some of those server chambers are equipped with next-gen heat sensors. They'll detect body heat even if your cloaking hog is active.
Who says I have a cloaking hog?
Who said you're going in? Call me if you get into trouble.
Now, it's actually pretty
Pritchard, I found ShadowChild. She reprogrammed the passport.
And?
And I guess I'm doing this.
It won't be easy, you know. It's a big facility with tons of server chambers. If you're thinking about exploring every one of them, looking for clues...
You want my help or not? I'll reconnect when I'm inside the Blade. Jensen out.
It's actually interesting. Wait, what did I want to... Oh, I am stealing that. What did I want to talk about? I already forgot in the meantime because he cut me off. What I was... Damn it. Well, maybe I'll remember later. Ah, okay, I do remember now. It's interesting that the technology seems to be moving in the direction of Deus Ex 1, which is actually quite cool as well. For example, the way multi-tools look and the way you use them, with Jensen pointing them at the electronic system and it giving you a progress bar as it hacks it. And also the fact that biocells are a thing, it all makes it more in line with the technology level in Deus Ex 1. And now there are those lasers that detect you, security systems that detect you based on your heat signature as opposed to your actual visibility, which is exactly how it worked in Deus Ex 1, because their bots and generally electronic defenses could detect you even if you were cloaked. So you actually had to choose if you want to have a cloak AUG that makes you invisible for humans, or if you want an AUG that doesn't physically make you invisible, but it messes up your signature so that electronics can't see you.
Hey, you! You don't look like you are from around here. You should know the truth about the Palisade Corporation.
And what truth is that?
The billionaires who own it killed my wife in there. Surely you have heard the name Simona Saridakis.
Several times, actually.
Good. The more you hear, the better. Because Palisade spent millions to bury the truth. There was no investigation of the crime scene. No real justice for my family. Simona worked there for years, and they called her a thief. Then they used her dead body to promote their security features.
Yeah, that's actually kind of fucked up if you think about it, somebody... To me, it would still be fucked up if it was an actual thief to use his actual death to promote your security, but then at least I would be more understanding toward it. But this, she was a worker there, and she just, stepped in the wrong direction or looked at the bot funny, and it shot her dead, and they used it as a marketing opportunity.
Why would Simona be inside the computer rooms? What was her job?
She was a senior engineer. She worked on the defensive systems.
So the traps that killed her, she would have known all about them.
Yes, exactly. She was working directly with Oshiro, helping him design security programs. He always gets credit for the lava wall, but much of it was her work too. So many years they worked together. Why would she steal? It makes no sense.
I assume when you say the billionaires, you mean the Palisade's founders. Why do you hold them responsible?
On the day she died, Simona said she found something strange that involved her boss, Masaki Oshiro. She wanted to tell me more, but I was upset. We'd had a fight, and I wasn't ready to listen. I told her to tell me after work, but she never came home.
Did you tell the investigators what she said?
I did! They ignored me. They said it's not related to the investigation. They said my wife was a thief. She was not a thief.
I'm sorry you lost your wife, Mr. Saridakis. But you said there was no investigation after she died. Why not?
Privacy laws make it illegal for the police to go inside the computer rooms. That's where those billionaires said she was killed. So all the police could do was examine Simona's workstation and emails, look at Intellicam footage, and perform an autopsy.
Not a lot to go on. What did the footage show?
Nothing! They showed Simona walking down some corridors and entering a computer room. But it did not show what happened inside. They said the security systems only kill someone if they walk in forbidden zones.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mr. Saridakis, but unfortunately, I have to get going.
I understand. Most people just ignore me. But you listened. I hope I changed your mind about the Palisade. It's not a wonder of the world.
It is a symbol of how the rich and powerful get away with everything, including murder.
Investigate the Salidaki's death in the blade. So I guess that's what once I get inside anyway. I will try to do that, of course. I usually try to fulfill all of the objectives. I'm just not particularly good at it, but I am certainly eager. Now, this episode has been long enough, but I want to just quickly check the figurine to see how it looks. ShadowChild's figurine. Oh, that's literally Garrett from Thief 4? Wasn't expecting that. That's literally Garrett from Thief 4. Wow, okay, that's pretty weird, to be honest. But this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save here and actually enter Palisade next time. But for now, that's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!